Joining me now on Ionico is adjunct professor of sexual violence at the New England School of Law and advocate for women's constitutional rights, Wendy Murphy, who strongly believes the term Karen is deeply misogynistic. I'm also joined by Dr. Burton, who is professor at Emory University in Atlanta, specializing in the intersection of race, class, gender, and sexuality within the media. Dr. Burton believes women branded Karen are getting off lightly and could be called far worse. Wendy, let me start with you. You've been listening and hearing everything that's been said. What do you have to add to this conversation?
My concern is the singling out of women for this special derogatory name. So what are we doing with the word Karen? Why isn't the word Ken or Bill or Bob? And let's even say the ones that are popping up on the videos are white women. That does not mean to me that it's fair to call them entitled or acting with supremacy, because women aren't even equal in this country yet. So when I hear anyone call any woman of any color entitled or supreme, it just, it's like fingers on a chalkboard.
Dr. Burton, you had some things to add to this. Some of her points you agree with and some you absolutely do not agree with.
Yeah, I agree with Wendy when she says that women are a disenfranchised group historically. That is accurate. However, the idea that all women are the same is false. Race does matter, and when you do things, right, you have freedom of speech, but that doesn't mean that there's freedom from consequences. Okay, and so when you do things and when you say things that put people in harm's way based on their race, that is called a racist act. There are real outcomes that come with that, right? So when you call the police on this gentleman right here, they could show up and based on these historic, and this is historic and systemic issues as it relates to race and racism in this country, there could be real consequences. All right. So when we think about a Karen, we're not talking about a person, we're talking about a behavior that is exhibited by people, right? They're male Karens. You're right. There are some black people that are Karens. They're on the web too, but I don't see you having a show about that. All right. We're focusing on white women again because white women are oppressed. That is correct. But black women share that category, Wendy. All right. And
Yes,
if you layer on racism, if you layer on elitism and classism, that means we have different outcomes than you. We're on the centennial of the passage of women's suffrage, right? Of the 19th Amendment. White women did not allow black women to participate in that movement, so we had to create our own. And then we had to force our way into the movement. Okay? So I'm not saying we don't have shared histories and legacies. We absolutely do. We have shared experiences of oppression. We absolutely do. But please don't negate or pretend that racism within the women's community, a lot of that based on these hierarchies, right, that are imposed by society, don't exist. And please don't pretend that the women who are being engaging in some of the most nefarious behavior are not doing something wrong. You know, Karen is kind of benign. That's like the most benign words you can use for someone who lies repeatedly, like one of Dr. Phil's guests, someone who inserts themselves into someone's life, someone who then tries to use, as the gentleman said, lethal force against that person because they won't comply because they're trying to police them. And then they have to deal with a police officer or anybody else for that matter. So that is a serious consequence. It is. And it should not happen. And we do have to call that out.
And all respect, because I hear what you're saying, I think the point for me is that we have to stop dividing women. Women are pitted against each other in all sorts of ways that make us less effective as a united force. It doesn't mean we don't have differences, but why are we prioritizing the bad behavior of women, period? I don't care if it's black women or white women. Why is this not about men?